So good evening to all our families who are here with us this afternoon. We have two schools represented, MS 484 under the leadership of Dr. Michelle Luard and MS 354 under the leadership of Dr. Monique Campbell. And so we're here this afternoon to glean some information from an organization that we have been working with for a number of years, Urban Tech. MS 354, we have been working, and MS 484 has recently joined working with us in that program. We have been implementing a bullying program with Urban Tech. And so as bullying became evident in our society and more pronounced in our society, there was the need for schools to respond and to implement bullying programs. And so through Urban Tech, we were able to implement a program called Dignity for All, which we implemented while the youngsters were in the building. This year, going remote, we implemented snippets of it, but not in the same as we normally would have implemented, while we were in the building. But instead, we have, and we are bringing to you this afternoon, a new program. It's in the new phase. It's in the birthing phase. A new program, a parent care program. So we're bringing that to you this afternoon. And we have members of Urban Tech. Patricia Branford, she is the CEO. Is that what you call it, Pat? Are you the CEO of Urban Tech? And yeah, she is the founder of Urban Tech. And she has been doing an outstanding job of working with us and really going out and sourcing resources for schools. And so she's here to present, she along with other members of her team, to hear from you, one, and to present to you what their thinking is, and to share with you an exciting program that is growing, evolving, developing, and that we want both schools to be a part of. So I'm going to turn it over now to Pat and her team so that they can share with you this exciting program to support us as parents. And I say us because I'm also a parent, right? To support us as parents as we answer the call, not so much for bullying now, but for social emotional learning, for technology support, and for other kinds of supports that parents are now more in need of. So I'm going to turn it over to Pat. And
thank you, Dr. Campbell. And I'm going to add my welcome to everyone for attending the Parents Care information session today. We want to share your ideas, our ideas for a more effective remote services environment during the pandemic and beyond. Just a little about us. Thank you, Monique, for that wonderful presentation. We're a not-for-profit educational corporation, and we've been committed to closing the technology gap for 25 years in order to access high-quality education and high-paying jobs in the 21st century. Parents Care was formed during the pandemic to prepare families with the resources that they need to educate their children at home with effective online equipment and educational services, and to become co-equal partners with schools in achieving their children's academic goals. We thought about the educational disparities among mainly disadvantaged families who lack the technological skills needed to address the most pressing issues standing in the way of receiving high quality education at home. We believe there had to be a solution to drive transformational change, and founded Parents Care because we truly believe that remote services could not be successful without a trained parent at home to support the online services and test new ways to work with teachers to deliver education outside of a classroom. We also saw that the pandemic was shining a light on new jobs to enrich education, increase the capacity of schools to educate in new and creative ways, and deliver services that improve health and social emotional well-being in the community. We wanted to make sure that communities of color would be competitive for those jobs. At this time, Urban Tech is calling on you, the leaders in the community, to help reshape education, to keep our children from falling farther and farther behind, and to better match the opportunities of the 21st century. We hope you join us today to rise to the challenge with strength and resilience as we push forward to make sure no child is left behind because of color or zip code. We have formed a coalition with Superintendent Dr. Ellis and principals to launch smart classrooms with high quality online instruction in selected homes and one-on-one tutors and mentors to help students make up for education lost during the pandemic. And we are announcing for the first time the Wi-Fi in a box, which you're going to hear about later, that assures connection to learning regardless of the availability and whims of your local telecommunications carrier. Thank you again for joining us in this ambitious goal and for your continued commitment to this vital mission of providing competitive education, equity, and racial justice in New York City communities. We cannot do this without you. Thank you. Our agenda is in the chat box, but let me introduce you to our team from Handel, Gabby Jordan and Tyreek Moore up in the corner. Very excited to hear from him. Striving for excellence is Rich Bolello. Where is he? With his 90 technical mentors and tutors. Technology in the home, I've named it, Ryan. Wi-Fi in a box.
Okay.
He's from Sweet Spot Wi-Fi. Social and emotional intelligence, Jennifer Stewart, who is the developer of our software. And Monique, you'll be surprised, we're going to do a road show this week. DFA has gone online. And then we'll wrap up with the notion of office hours, as we call it, for PC services in each family, one-on-one support to each family during our 4-month pilot. So that is the wrap up. If there are any questions, we'll take them now, or we will turn this over to Handel. Any questions before I turn it over? Okay, where is she?
I'm right here.
Oh, there you are, up in the corner.
There I am. There I am. So
Gabby
first of all,
Jordan, I've known her for years. Brilliant. We believe in coaching and changing the attitudes and outlooks of our family, our team, so that we can achieve greater and greater heights.
yes, thank you so much. And thank you for inviting us to participate. And as Pat said, we've known each other for years in different contexts. And in the fall, when she invited us to participate in this important initiative, we were thrilled. So I want to just give you a little bit of background. So what we are, so you're going to hear from my colleague in a minute, Tyreek Moore, and me. And I'm just going to give you a little bit of where we think from. So we're coaches. We are Handel Group's an executive and life coaching company. We work with people all over the world. I run the education division, where we work with students, teachers, faculty, administrators, the whole kit and caboodle, anyone that actually impacts students we care about. And so this was a great opportunity to participate in Pat's suite of services, if you will, to really offer parents support in these incredibly challenging times. So we've been teaching in the New York City high schools for the last 8 years, actually with students and also teachers and administrators, but with students one-on-one. We've continued to do that during the pandemic. We're doing it remotely. And the part of the program that we are really bringing is coaching for parents. And we're also going to be running a program that is a collaboration between teachers and parents for the success of the children. Because we know that parents and teachers are real partners, and or in order to have it be as successful as possible, they need to be partners. And so we're going to do some work with parents and teachers and run several workshops for parents so that you can get supported in your own life, right? So you can get coaching and support and learn principles in your own life that can use in your life, in the life of your children, and then just to have you be successful and navigate through this. So there's coaching workshops, there's coaching hours, if you will, that you can come one-on-one and, one in small groups, and we'll have it at a set time and you can join us and get your questions answered. Or do you need any help with any of the principles? If you say you need something that we are not doing, we'll get you to the right people. But that's a little bit just an overview of the type of work that we're going to do. And I want to turn it over to my colleague, Tyreek Moore, who is a rock star, love him madly. And I'm thrilled that he's here tonight as a parent, a coach, and someone who's championing the mission. Tyreek, if you would.
Thank you, Gaby. I'll be sure to take you on all of my road shows from now on, if that's the introduction I'll get. I want to thank all of the parents, all of the administrators, everyone here tonight, because everyone's making an investment right now in children and in students. I am the beneficiary of that type of investment. I grew up in the Bronx, New York, and I went to middle school and junior high school at CIS 229. Just for some reference, the buildings across from 229 were considered the murder towers. There was actually a New York Times article referencing the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak in the Bronx there. The preschool I went to was in those towers. So I got to see firsthand the type of racial and social and economic inequity that exists inside of communities. And I was impacted by that greatly. I was the beneficiary of a teacher who created a program at CIS 29. Her name is Miss Brown. I'll never forget that name. She created a program called Strivers for Success. And in that, she identified high potential students that she really wanted to create investment in so that they could, realize that potential. And she happened to reach out to my mom, who was a single mom of 4. And my mom said, yeah, let's get them into the program. Fast forward, I wind up going to a great high school. I get my undergraduate degree from Boston University. I get my master's degree from Harvard University. I then began to pursue a path in reinvesting inside of the community and inside of lives because I was invested in myself. I became the chief operating officer of New Heights Academy Charter School, which sits at the cross section of Harlem and Washington Heights. While I was there, I'm proud to say for 6 years straight, we achieved 100% college acceptance. And the genesis of all of this was a teacher who created a program. So I say all of this to underscore the importance of investment in these types of programs, the one that we're talking about tonight, and the partnership with parents, as Ms. Brown may had a partnership with my mom, and what it's able to do as it relates to actually creating and driving a trajectory for what a child can do. Inside of that, I now sit as the head of diversity for Hendel Group. And in that role, I'm really looking to go into communities, organizations, companies to really root out many of the challenges and cavities that exist that creates lack of diversity, that creates inequity, right? That creates exclusive environments as opposed to inclusive environments where everyone can be a part of the success of communities and organizations and all of that. And in that role, what I really do, and as a parent, what I really do is I start with what the dream is, right? What the dream is. And that's part of our methodology in Hendel. We start with what is our goal. When I talk about dream, I'm not talking about fantasies or unicorns or pots of gold at the end of a rainbow. What I'm talking about when I say dream is a designed result. That's it. My mom had a designed result for me, regardless of the community that I sat in during the crack epidemic, where bullets came through my window so many times. I lived on the 3rd floor. My mom had to move up to the 18th floor. Notice I didn't say move out of the building because that wasn't an opportunity we were afforded, right? But she had a dream, a designed result for me. And that's where we start in our work at Hendel. We start with the dream, right? Inside of that, we know that actions produce, and what a dream is a designed result. And we know that actions produce results, right? Actions consist of what we do, like us being here right now, what we don't do and how we do it, right? What we know that it takes more than actions though, in order to really produce substantial results. And what actually drives actions is our inner dialogue, right? And our inner dialogue, we know that our results will always be consistent with our inner dialogue. So this is the type of methodology that is groundbreaking. It's reality shifting. It's dynamics turning. And this is what inside of our work, Gaby and I, what we're going to offer in this program. And with that, it's going to put us in position to author. That's the whole goal of our methodology, is to author. And we like to say, you know you're authoring, and my mom authored for me, and I'm authoring for my children. And you're authoring any area in your life where these 3 things are existent, where you're happy, you're proud, and effective. Happy, proud, and effective. We call it authoring because this is when you put the pen to the pad. You write the way the story goes. You don't allow the story to be written for you by newspaper, by media, by circumstance, by conditions. No, I'm going to write the way the story goes. I'm going to kick down the door and produce the results that I want to produce for myself and for my children. And that's what we're going to collaborate with the parents to do inside of this program. Gaby?
Thank you,
Beautiful,
Tyreek.
Ty. Beautiful. And just to say that, and we know that it's not that you necessarily can do it alone, right? So what's offered is coaching to support you in that. But then I think Pat's about to introduce Rich, and who's going to collaborate for mentorship and tutoring. So Pat.
Thank you, my Hendel partners. Rich, would you tell us how you're going to extend learning and help to concretize what has gone on over the last year?
You're on mute.
Rich?
He's coming.
You're on mute.
Got it. Rich
Okay.
Colella. I'm with a company called Otsuka Pharmaceuticals. It's a big global company. They make nature-made vitamins. Any guys take vitamins or Crystal Geyser water? It's a big company, and I'm with their pharmaceutical side. We work with rare kidney diseases. It's a great organization. We have over 90 employees that have volunteered to help mentor/tutor your kids in this program. Commit an hour a week and be there as a resource. And it's not just for the school. We have people with all different backgrounds. We have about 25% speak English is their second language, and if that would help out your kids, make sure you let Pat or Gaby know, because we might be able to pair you up with someone that can help in that regard. And it's people with extensive educational backgrounds, many with PhDs, masters, that really want to help your kids accelerate through this. It's been a very tough year. I have a disabled child. She's barely verbal. She can barely speak. And in this last year, she couldn't go to her day ahead program. She's been sitting in her house. And I have to go to her and get in her face and make her say one-word answers to questions, because I've seen her revert. It's been tough. If a kid's not been in school, not been socializing, it's a challenging year. And Urban Tech and Handel can really help. They're wonderful organizations. And us at Otsuka, we want to pair you up and not just with the schooling, but maybe, my friend Kanita, she's our executive director of legal services. She's volunteered. Maybe your kid gets paired with her, or if you have a kid that's interested in law, we're going to share who's working with who, and the person that has your son or daughter might go, hey, Kanita, could you maybe talk with this person and help them know that they can do it too, and maybe they could someday be a top lawyer like Kanita, or Anand is emigrated here and now he's getting promoted into a VP level and he runs our analytics. We have a lot of great people that want to be mentors and help your kids with their schooling. And please talk to your friends who weren't able to make this session, and just let them know it's a great program that Handel and Urban Tech have here. And it really, we have to work together to help accelerate a lost year in many cases. It's not just going to happen, but with great resources and with someone willing to help, we can do it. We can do it together. And I'm just very thankful to be associated with these wonderful people. When I think about my daughter and all, and she might not be able to, but a lot of the kids, and we're going to work and we're going to help everyone just have a phenomenal 2021 and 2022 are going to be the best years of our lives, no doubt about it. So thank you for letting me be part of this. And the people at Otsuka really want to help and are so excited to be working with you guys.
Thank you, Rich. So Ryan, one of the most important parts of this program are, the services within the home, the platform, the telecommunications network. We want to come up with a way to take pressure off of the home and the teachers, help us prepare better for the children each day who come to class at home, and for the teachers who are responsible for delivering that education. Could you tell us about some of the wonderful things that are in store for them?
Yeah, I am excited to share with you the program that we put together that simplifies the way a student might access content at home, and also simplifying the process for the teachers and how they curate content and publish that content, and also for parents that can access the same platform. Pat, can you do me a favor and give me access so I can throw up a few slides and share with you what that looks like?
That will be Tammy, and I'm
Okay,
sure
Tammy.
we'll get that for you. Thank you, Tammy.
Thank you.
All right, I think now I can do it. Hold on one second. Let's see if how proficient I am in technology. All right, we're getting somewhere. All right, hold on 2 seconds, and then let me get on my slide here that I can share. And then you should be able to see my screen. And let me put this in the presentation mode. It's going to take a second or two.
We got it, I think.
All right, there we go. It should be broadcasting now. Can you see it?
Yep.
Fantastic. All right, well, I'm going to do a couple of things. One, I'm going to give you a little background on Sweet Spot, and then we're going to talk about a new service that we're offering that is really addressing a very big issue in this country, and that is the digital divide. And as our company looked at this problem and started really doing the research behind this issue, we find that this issue is everywhere. It doesn't matter whether you're in the city or you are in a rural area. Having access to viable broadband is, in some cases, a real issue, and we want to solve that issue. And so the company's mission is really looking at how we bridge the digital divide for students that have no or insufficient homework, internet access at home. But our real mission is really about looking at how we can take this this platform and use that to increase knowledge retention and reduce learning loss. And as we all know, for the school districts, the teachers, and for the students, one of the biggest tidal waves that we're looking at moving forward is how you address learning loss. And it is a very big problem. And so when we looked at, what other problems that the school districts are looking at and what teachers have to deal with and parents have to deal with and students have to deal with, one is one area is called digital literacy, and making sure that every student is proficient in the ability to understand how to engage with digital content. One of the areas that we're focused in on is how do we start addressing learning loss. And other issues that are also impacting schools are teacher shortages. And because of that, there are subject matters that aren't being taught, right? So all of this is brewing, right? And so the question is, how can you take technology and use that to help start addressing these core issues? The other thing that we saw in some of our research shows that for students that have access to viable broadband, perform better than those students that don't have access to viable broadband. So this report came out of Michigan State University, and it showed that students lacking internet access perform lower on a range of metrics, including digital skills, homework completion, grade point averages, even lower in the attendance in college and SAT scores. So why is that? Well, having access to content online gave students the ability to go deeper and look at how they took a subject matter, for example, got on the Khan Academy, watch videos and learn more about a typical subject matter that they may be addressing in their schools. So the other trend in the industry is really, and what COVID has really put to the forefront is a transition, right? We went to school, we got homework assignments, we took them home, we did them, completed them, brought them back, the teacher graded them, right? And so that process is in the middle of a transition, and COVID is now putting that on the fast track. So we're moving from an offline environment where a student goes home and does their homework to everything that looks to be online. And there's some real advantages by going online because it's more efficient. The teacher can broadcast out course materials, everybody's doing the same thing, can be the ability to add additional content that will help knowledge retention in those areas. And so the problem, however, is that without a viable broadband, not everybody can participate in the online world. And so SweetSpot looked to solve this problem by looking at what are the problems, right? You've got broadband availability and affordability on one end, and then you've got content consolidation and student engagement. And we look to see how we addressed all these problems and put it into literally one box and being able to make it very simple for a student to access this content. So think about, the way I like to sum this up is think about an Xbox or a PS5. It's designed for one thing. You take it home, you plug it in, you can play games. And it can work online and or offline. Well, that's what SweetSpot does. We take the school's content, what the teachers are curating, any other additional content, put it on a box, a student takes it home, they plug it in, and all they have access to is that curated materials that the school and the teachers want them to have access to. So won't get too technical, but this is just sort of show you the process. So in the middle, you see that SweetSpot Red Cloud. We integrate our backend systems into Google Classrooms. Any LMS systems can be Canvas, whatever that might be, along with third-party content providers such as PBS Learning, YouTube, Khan Academy. The school districts provide us with what content they want. We integrate into it and configure it for that school district. For teachers, we make it very simple. They continue to log on. Let's say it's Google Classrooms. log on to Google Classrooms, curate their content that they normally do, and add any other additional content, we'll see that being published and then position that in the red cloud and load that content onto a SweetSpot device that's been issued to a student. That student then takes that device home, they plug it in, and they simply then log on with a laptop or a tablet or a mobile phone, just like they would a hotspot, and they'll see all the course materials that the teacher has curated within that environment. And so just real quick, the device, think about it again like an Xbox or a PS5. It's several things in one, right? It accesses a Wi-Fi access point, but it can work offline. So it doesn't need to be connected because it's got an embedded server. We localize content on it, and it's browser based. It's a walled garden. So all they get is what's curated for that student. And of course, we capture data analytics to make that easier for us to assess how well the programs would be working. And I'm just going to show you very quickly this is an example of what this looks like. Again, on the left-hand side, the student takes the box home, they plug it in. All the content that they're seeing is on this box. They could be in the middle of nowhere, no internet, no mobile access, no nothing. And all they do is log on to that device. And then what they'll see, they'll enter their name and student ID information. We authenticate them so we can support multiple students in a household this way. We can personalize it. So it comes up and says, hi, Jimmy, welcome to the day, whatever that might be. And then they get onto the home screen, and this home screen can be configured based on the direction we get from the school district. So in this case, is the LMS is the Google Classroom. So they would click on Google Classrooms, see the course materials posted by the teacher. They do their homework. They can download and upload PDFs. They complete their assignments. Then they can go in and click on other content channels like PBS, Learning, and we have loaded all the videos that for this channel. They click on it and they can watch a video seamlessly. Again, this is not connected to the internet. It's all running locally on this device. And then we can also add additional types of content engagement. So for example, we can create a library of podcasts. So if the student wants to listen to a particular material, they can listen to it on their laptop or tablet or on their phone, right? And so again, the teacher and the school districts help us curate what goes on these channels. And the same is true is that we can create a digital library. So that library can include textbooks, as well as other digital books that the teachers and the school districts would like those students to have access to. They can click on the book, read it just like an ebook. So those are just a couple of key examples of what SweetSpot can do. Now, what's great about this, Pat, in listening to everybody, we can incorporate, the parent portal and all the great things that you're doing as a part of this solution. And the parents can also log on to this. They can have their own little portal. Then they can get access to information that you might be providing them, whether that's, school information, training. And also the other great thing about this is that we can support multi-language. So you pick the language that you want to consume the content in, and we'll provide that as long as those materials exist, and we can publish that. So I know I went through that very quickly, but hopefully that makes sense, and I'll stop there and hand it back to Pat.
Thank you. I've seen it several times. I just think it solves a lot of problems. It does not stop anybody from going to the telecommunications carrier, your Wi-Fi, and go out into the World Wide Web, but it certainly curates and organizes, right, what a student needs to learn. It can be adaptive, it can be special ed. I just think it is a very, what can I say, simple, but complete and organized way of running homes during this period. Anybody want to ask a question or?
After receiving the shot, one death, one woman in the hospital, the pause affecting thousands of vaccinations, like 1 in 4 locations in the U.S. using that vaccine.
Everyone for us.
Task Force said today about the Pfizer and Moderna
Can you
vaccine.
take this anywhere you go?
Yes, you can. That's a great question. This box can go anywhere. So if you, let's say you're going on vacation, you can take it with you. The student throws it in their backpack and they then can plug it in wherever they are. They can plug it into the car if it has the ability to do so. And it creates the Wi-Fi and they log onto it. They can start consuming that content anywhere.
It doesn't block you like if you go in the mountains where there's a lot of
No.
trees, like
No,
that. Okay.
no, there's no, that's the great thing about the solution. It has no, you're not having to worry about bandwidth because all the content is localized on the device. You just plug it in and log onto it like a Wi-Fi network, and it's all there. And it's seamless and very quick.
Okay, thank you.
So we will be the first. If Monique and Michelle decide this is the way they want to go, if Dr. Ellis, we can present it to him. He can do his own personalization if he's interested. So it has a lot of very positive characteristics to it. But first and foremost, I think it solves the Wi-Fi problem that's up and down and unsteady. So we'll learn more about that as we go along. Jennifer, do you want to pick up on your road show and what you're doing with social and emotional intelligence?
Sure. Thank you, Pat. Can you all hear me?
Yep.
Yep. Great. Greetings. My name's Jennifer. I've been working with Pat Bransford and the Urban Tech team for the past 20 years. Urban Tech has been creating programs and curricula to develop social and emotional skills for children and youth because we know how important these skills are to engage students in learning in the classroom and now learning from home. And once they finish school, these skills are just as critical in the workplace. So we started by developing about a dozen modules for the Youth Leadership Academy program on topics ranging from conflict resolution to self-discovery, team building, and personal relationships. And now with the Parents Care program, we will be offering Urban Tech's latest bullying prevention program called Dignity for All, with online interactive modules that will be delivered together with the Parents Care program to help your students acquire the knowledge, transform their mindsets, and ultimately gain new skills to change behavior. So the goals of Dignity for All are to be able to identify bullying in all its forms and really and understand the roles in the bullying cycle and learn to separate the behavior from the person to gain and practice the skills and feel empowered to become upstanders rather than the bystanders in a hostile situation. We know it takes all people in the school community, from school leaders and administrators to teachers and counselors, school staff, the students themselves, and also the parents to make a safer and more supportive and caring culture in the school and classroom and now wherever learning occurs. So we know the really important role of parents in this transformation and in supporting your students on their academic and their personal journey so they can build these social and emotional skills, the maturity and the resilience to excel in school, but just as importantly, so that they learn to enjoy learning along the way and pursue their natural curiosity and learn to problem solve and think critically. So like we all want for our kids, we know you want your children to get the best education and have the opportunity to reach their full potential. So we're honored to partner with you in reaching these goals.
Thank you. Any comments or questions? So we can actually sum up here. We expect to offer every home, every family, a basket of services, beginning with a high-tech, effective platform and courseware, We will offer the one-on-one support from Rich's team to help extend learning, to help kids make up for what they've lost, but in a fun, exciting way. We will look at ways in which they can continue to look at their careers. Since in STEM, we're going to have high-class STEM tutors and mentors. And then I think the real surprise is the Wi-Fi in a box, is what I call it, which says that we're going to solve all of the technical problems that we've heard about by just making it easier, more organized and consolidated and curated for each home. We will be providing that one-on-one support to every family during the 4-month pilot. You can come to us with any concern, any issue that we have the power to solve for you. And you can see we've got many, we've been doing a lot of thinking about this over the last 8 months, doing a lot of research, deep research on what is going on in the communities. Why are students more apt to select home as opposed to school in some cases? And so I am counting on everybody here who's come to the presentation to become, one of our thinkers, our problem solvers. And hopefully you will help lead us through the rest of the community, the district, to, solve more problems. But let me stop here now and see if there are any questions at all about what you've heard.
Okay, this is Ms. Brown. I have a question.
Okay.
So, the program is a 4-month pilot. So after the 4 months, let's say I'm happy with what you guys, give to the parents, and I want to continue. How does that work after the 4 months?
Oh, that's what we hope you'd say. You will be our partner forever, Ms. Brown. You will have the understanding that we hope to, include in this program in the 4 months is just a way to test our assumptions, but we will work until it is perfect. And we depend on you to continue to sustain it. But it's forever. It's forever, Ms. Brown.
Okay, thank you.
Urban Tech just did its 25th year, Pat, right? You just passed 25 years.
Yeah, we just celebrated our 25th year. And we started, by the way, and I bore people when I talk about it, we opened 500 centers across the country in 50 states. And we did the exact same thing we're recommending here with smart computer learning centers that trained 1,000 people every year. We put upwards of 2 million people in jobs over that 10-year time frame in 50 communities. And so we are looking for the rising tide in District 17.
I have a question. Is there any support for like when you have problems with computers itself? Because even though DOE was giving out tablets, I had tablets that did not work, and we had the tech support call me like 1,000 times, and it never worked out. So I ended up sharing my computer with my daughter, because we couldn't work that out. Is there any like help with getting like computers if it was needed?
Oh yeah, we understand that 100%. We are solving those problems. We want to make sure everyone has the same core environment that's easy to support. We will make sure you have whatever equipment you need. so that you can provide effective services to your young people and your parents. Does that answer your question, Kim?
Yes, very much so. Thank you.
Did I leave anything out? Is everybody, how many people do we have, Monique, today?
So there are 61 on the call, but of course there are about 10 of us, so that would give us approximately 50 parents. We know that there are 2 schools that are here represented, and we want to give the parents who are here this afternoon the first opportunity, right? 484 parents, you have been in touch with Ms. Drakes, I think her name is, and Dr. Luard, and from 354 with Ms. Barnett and Mr. Cormack. And so we need to know, I think you completed the surveys. We want to make sure that you completed the survey that was sent to you by Urban Tech, where you were asked.
Monique, we have completed the questions, but we will issue the survey now to both schools.
Okay.
They have not received it.
Ms. Bransford, would you like me to place it in the chat so that people have access to it now?
Yes, I think that may be a good way, so we can see the survey, have the parents do the survey. So parents, if you could look in the chat. Now, there are parents who are on the phone, and so I'm not sure how do they go about accessing the survey.
Well, yeah, we can do it now, or we're ready to shoot it out to everybody once we have the addresses. It's all ready to go. So I think probably tomorrow would be a good time. What's tomorrow, Thursday?
We have the names of the people who RSVP'd, so we can, and the email addresses, and so we can
Yes.
email it to those folks.
So you can email it to those folks.
Right.
Okay.
Urban Tech can do that.
So if there's
And-
anyone here who did not complete the RSVP, is there anyone here who did not do the RSVP?
Principal Campbell,
I don't think I did.
we did that survey, that same survey I just clicked on. I did it from the email from the reservation.
That's what I thought. I thought.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yes,
what
I did it.
thought.
I'm sorry, I didn't do the survey yet. I don't know if I can do it later.
We're placing it here again for anybody who did not get the survey. We wanted to make sure, especially with our confusion, see that and if there's anybody who did not register that somehow is on this call through a direct Zoom link, if you will please put your email in the web chat, I will make sure that you're on our communication list. You can send it to me privately or just to everyone there at the bottom right, and we'll make sure.
And
Okay,
if that
thank
does
you.
not work, you can also call your individual schools, right? So you can call Mr. Cormack, and Mr. Cormack will be able to send you the survey link. All right. So there are several ways in which you can get this information. You can call Mr. Cormack or Dr. Luard. So you can call 484. We will send you the survey. You can call 354. We will also send you the survey. You can put your information in the chat. Jenny will get back to you. Because we really need for you to be able to be a part of this and to get all the information.
Very good. So everybody's ready to get started, it sounds like. No questions?
I generally don't have shy parents.
Right.
Mr. James, I see you. Nathaniel is going to be a part of this program. What do you have to say, Mr. James? I'm putting you on the spot.
You're
That must
right.
mean that they're happy. If they're not really commenting, they
They're
must
not
be
really
happy with what they heard.
Absolutely. I see Miss Gilliam. Miss Gilliam, I'm not hearing from you. I saw you earlier. So parents, I know you are here. I don't know.
Tell us what you think.
Miss Chung, I don't know if Miss Chung came on. I know we spoke to her today for Noel. So parents, we really want to hear from you.
Hi, Miss Campbell. Hi, everyone. This is Miss Gilliam. Yes, I am
Hello.
here.
I put you on the
I'm just
spot, I know.
It's okay. I'm just excited. I'm just ready to see how it goes, and I'm just ready. So I don't have any questions. I probably don't have any questions until I'm actually foot forward in already, and then I'm
Right.
like, okay, wait, hold on, how you do this? Or wait, hold on, wait, let's mix this up. So what I've been doing here is just really jotting down what they're saying as it go, and screenshotting some of the slides so that if anything comes up, then I have my questions, and then I'll be calling Mr. Cormack, or I just be responding to the email that I received so that I could try to understand where I went wrong or what didn't I do, just to try to understand it. But other than that, it's very good, it's informative, so that's why I don't have any questions. But I do appreciate it, and I thank you all.
Oh, well, we appreciate your responses. You're on our team. You sound like a powerhouse. I can't wait to work with you.
Ms. Robinson has a question. She has her hand raised, her internet hand.
So good evening, everyone. My name is Raina Robinson Holmes, and I am the parent of a 7th grader at MS 354. And I have to say that this program sounds very enlightening. And I can't wait till it's actually rolled out and to see how it's implemented to the benefit of our children.
Oh, thank you, Raina.
I don't have, this is Miss Bennett. I don't have any questions because I'm waiting for it to just get started.
Okay, you're like me. Let's get started.
And that might be a good segue. Gaby, do you want to follow up with how just the next steps in terms of coaching that we'll be circulating a way to figure out how best to, we want parents to tell us when they can meet. Let me turn it to you.
And I think that's, what we'll do, Urban Tech will actually circulate a question, like maybe a doodle poll or something in terms of best times, and then we'll sort that out. So you'll expect communication. Yes, we want the survey filled out so we see what you need. 2, we'll let you know what's next, and then we'll be in communication that way.
So I want to also say to the parents that this is something that we're ready to get started with, right? We don't have a lot of time for the school year. We're already in April, so we do have May and June, and we'd really like to get started. So we're really asking the parents to complete this survey as soon as possible so that Urban Tech is able to look at your needs and be able to respond readily to your needs. Also, we're hoping to take this throughout the summer. So your youngster, there is going to be summer school. It is going to be in-person summer school. You're hearing it probably for the first time. The chancellor did make the announcement to us as principals anyway. And so, and it's not just for promotion endowed students, right? So there, we know that those of us who are here, many of our youngsters will be joining us for summer school, but whether you're in person or remote, it is something that will continue, throughout. So it is a program that will support our youngsters, as in the mentoring. It's a program that will support you as parents as well, in terms of what your needs are so that you can be more equipped to support your youngsters. So we're looking to begin very soon, right? And then to take this right throughout the summer. And hopefully, we're going to be taking it into September as well, right, Pat?
Oh, yes. As someone was asking, when does this end? Well, it doesn't, hopefully. This is our whole rationale is to present something that's better organized, more powerful for the kids, more effective. And it covers all the different areas that we understand need to be solved.
Dr. Laward has her hand up.
Where is she, Dr. Laward?
Right here, Pat. Good night. Hi, everyone. Good night. I just
Hello.
wanted to find out from the 484 parents if they had any questions other than Miss McFarland. Please, Kim, other than Kim, please ask it now. Any questions? How are you feeling? Is it something we're interested in? What are we doing?
Good afternoon, everyone. Ms. Givens wrote in the chat, Dr. Lord.
Hi, Ms. Givens.
She wrote in the chat that she's excited to get started, so she doesn't have any questions.
Great.
I'm also excited to get started, and we are very interested in it. Yes, but I don't have any questions now.
Okay. All right. Great. How many do we have? I think we had. Okay. All right. No problem, dear. Thank you. I just wanted to be sure.
Thank you, Dr. Laward. Well, good. I mean, we don't want to hold you forever tonight. We thank you for coming. We thank you for your spirit and your excitement about getting started. We are too. You will be our team to move forward. And if this works, that we can spread it around, make sure other problems are solved and in other schools and other districts. So, but I think that, you'll be the first. You'll be the first to show New York City how we can do this in a way, as I said, that's effective. We're also interested in making sure that we have equity in mind, that our kids are doing as well as any other zip code. We don't want that to be something that separates our kids from being A+ students and going to Harvard like my friend Tyreek. So, we're excited. We think that it's gonna move very quickly. I've got a great staff that's ready to answer any questions, to solve any problems that you have. You can see we've thought about just about everything here. If there's anything we haven't thought about, that's what I'd like to know, because we're problem solvers and we want to make sure that we solve every problem that exists that are keeping you from effectively educating your kids and your family in these times. All right, so we can sign off. Good evening. Again, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you, everybody.
Everyone.